Nozzle selection really, I think, has been pretty simplified over the years. Early on, we really started using a lot of the flat fan nozzles, and that's what we used, guys, for 50 years. That basically went out, gave us good coverage, put out a fairly small droplet size, around 200 microns or so at 40 psi, and really did us a good job in a lot of ways with a lot of different pesticides. As we started to get into the Roundup Ready crops, we were more concerned about drift. We didn't want to see glyphosate getting off where we were spraying it, and we moved to a lot of these AI type tips that have a hole in them, hole in the side that pull air in, make the droplets very large. They drop to the ground very quickly, and you don't see near the drift with these type nozzles, and we use these fairly extensively. More recently, though, as folks get more and more into flow controls and you have a wider pressure range you're using on sprayers, we moved to more of the AIXRs. This is a T-Jet spraying systems, AIXR. It's one of the more popular nozzles used today, used with a variety of different pesticides. But the big thing is it's kind of a medium coarse droplet, around 400 microns. So you don't get to drift with it, but it's not as big as some other nozzles. So it's kind of the happy medium of some of the other type nozzles that are out there. Another common one is the WILGER DR nozzle that also puts out that medium type droplet. That's kind of the best balance, I think, between getting coverage and not getting drift. As we move ahead to some of the new technologies that are out there, we're more looking at even larger droplet sizes. And this is the Turbo T-Jet induction nozzle, TTI, and this is the one you're going to see on a lot of the labels of some of the newer technologies that are coming out. Puts out a very coarse droplet, 450 microns plus. Works very well with systemic herbicides, but one of the things we really wanted to look at is how does it look with contact herbicides, things that need a little more coverage. And that's what we're looking at here today, is examining how these different nozzles work with a contact herbicide, Liberty, which we're widely using now to control Palmer amaranth. The other nozzle I'm going to show here is a dual fan. This thing's built for coverage. It's got basically a nozzle that goes straight pretty much down and one that goes at an angle out there. In order to somewhat help on drift, though, it has a pre-orifice, and you can actually remove it, and there it is. And it's got a little hole in it. It's got air induction, so it puts out a coarser droplet. And so again, we wanted to test how these were going to work out here. And this is with Liberty at the standard labeled rate of 29 ounces per acre on Palmer amaranth that's in that 3 to 6 inch range. And you can see we're standing right now where we applied these with a TTI nozzle. We've got a fair amount of grow back. We didn't get the coverage with the TTI. That again has that 450 micron drop range that we would like to have seen with Liberty. With the dual fan, with the pre-orifice, again, we got bigger droplets out there. We didn't get as good a coverage even though we had 2 fans. And as a result, we have a few more Palmer amaranth there compared to where we just ran it with the dual fan and took this out of it completely, and we got a lot better control there. We also got a lot better control with the flat fan nozzles, again, that give good coverage. Now the downside to these is you can get more drift. So if you have sensitive crops nearby, you have to take that in consideration. In between was the ones that showed the more medium type droplet, around that 350 to 400 microns. And that'd be the WILGER DR and spraying systems AIXR nozzle. But we got kind of a medium. You don't get as much drift with those, but we did get better Palmer amaranth control.